We are live as everyone. Welcome back to another live stream here on the Game Time Voice YouTube channel. I'm your host, Mike Walsh, and I thank you for joining me here for another exciting night of hockey as we have the Vancouver Canucks coming to TD Garden to re-engage in a rivalry that goes all the way back to the 2011 Stanley Cup Finals as they will take on the Boston Bruins here tonight. Now, as such as the Patriots game against the Baltimore Ravens, I think just before the start of the game last week against the Buffalo Bills, it was announced that that game got moved from, I want to say early afternoon to maybe mid afternoon to 8:20 the Sunday night game. So to be honest with you, I really don't feel like staying up until 10:30, sometimes 11 o'clock, sometimes broadcast the game. So we're going to do a Saturday hockey game at 7 o'clock as the Bruins will take on the Vancouver Canucks. So I want to thank you guys for joining me here on the Game Time Voice YouTube channel and make sure that, we get at least one live stream in this week. So I want to thank everybody for joining us here wherever you may be. Now, it is worth noting, I feel like I want to mention this because I don't often mention this sometimes, but you will not see the game. I know that might be shocking to some of you guys, but I am not showing the game because I'm trying to avoid copyright, and that can get me into a lot of trouble. So you'll basically just be seeing me in my wonderful studio here uh, in Malden, and I'll be broadcasting. So you'll be hearing my voice. You won't be seeing any of the action, but if you want to watch me, but keep an eye on the game. You can put the TV on, put the game on your TV as it is on Nesson, and turn the volume off, and then you can hear my melodious voice. I don't know if that is even a word, but I'll take it anyway. And so just relax, you know, take a seat, enjoy yourselves, and enjoy some hockey with us. As most of you might have just finished up your Christmas shopping and are a little bit tired from the day, well, then you could sit right on up and enjoy us here for a nice hockey game here in the NHL between the Bruins and the Canucks. Also, uh, new addition or new basically look for the bottom ticker uh, tonight. It was a lot of work to kind of keep that going and kind of everything else. And so there were moments where I was focusing on that and I wasn't really talking and this and that. So honestly, I got some stuff down there, including my upcoming broadcast schedule as high school hockey season is off and running. So if you guys want to know when am I going to be broadcasting next, well, it will be following down low. Also, as it's doing it right now. Look at this perfect timing. Instagram, Game Time Voice. Follow me on there. I'll post when new videos are available. So hopefully you guys are enjoying yourselves. The Bruins coming off a tough loss against the Edmonton Oilers, and Connor McDavid did not play bad, but just undisciplined a little bit. And you can't give a team with a superstar like Connor McDavid that much chances, and they just took advantage, and we didn't. So hopefully for a bounce back against a Vancouver Canucks squad that recently traded one of its star players in Quinn Hughes, I should say, to the Minnesota Wild. So a team kind of trying to refine their identity, so to speak. Um, and so hopefully we can catch them on sort of a down bit. And also on this will probably be the last video, as I don't think I'm going to post. So yeah, I'll make that note before we get started with the game. I'll probably be taking the Christmas week off, so no videos out on Christmas because I want to take some time to enjoy the time with my family and friends and everything else, and I'm sure you guys want to as well. So we'll be taking a break during Christmas, and then the following week we'll be right back to regularly scheduled programming. Shorts on Wednesday and videos on Friday. So make sure you're subscribed. Also, 44 subscribers. We got 2 weeks left in the month of December. I'm hoping to get 6 more subscribers before the end of 2025. So if you haven't done so already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. So the Bruins will come out. It'll be Jeremy Swayman, I believe, in between the pipes for the fourth straight game. Charlie McAvoy, Nikita Zadorov along the back end, and then Marat Husadinov, Elias Lindholm, and David Pastrnak along the front line. That would be the starting lineup. For the Canucks, Marco Rossi, Brock Besser, and old friend Jake DeBrusk along the front line. Marcus Pettersson, Philippe Hronik on the back end, and Kevin Lankinen in between the pipes for the Canucks. So, as the starting lineup for both teams, as we will not get a chance to see uh, former local kid Thatcher Demko, the former BC Eagle. He will not be getting the start tonight against his fellow Hockey East alum Jeremy Swayman, the former Maine Black Bears. So it will be Lankinen against Swayman in between the pipes tonight. And will be a very, very interesting matchup uh, tonight for both of these teams. If at some point they want to drop the puck. This is the third of a 5 game homestand for the Bruins, um, as what they are referring to as a garden party, as it is the 30th anniversary of the TD Garden. Um, and so they're celebrating some times and this and that. It's hard to believe it's been 30 years already since the uh, old Boston Garden was torn down and the Fleet Center at the moment, but now the new TD Garden has been up and running. Um, that would be an interesting question to ask kids nowadays. Before it was the TD Garden, what was this building known as? I'd be interested to see how many people would actually get to know it. Um, but uh, it's a building that used to be fun to go to, but is, I think, honestly, has priced out some of its fans. So I'll be interested to see how many more can enjoy games such as tonight as we move forward. Um, like I said, at the beginning of the game, my upcoming broadcast schedule for My Hockey Live and the Always On Media Group um, are going to be flashing down below. If you want to know when those are happening, and if you want to make sure you don't miss those, make sure you are subscribed to myhockeylive.com. It is a subscription base, but you can pay for the day, you can pay for the season, or you can pay for the year. So make sure you're subscribed to that so you don't miss out on fun high school athletic action, specifically in the hockeyverse. I will be spending most of the next couple weeks at the Forum here in Malden, taking in some MC boys and girls hockey. The girls will be taking on Nauset this coming Tuesday. And then the 2 days after Christmas, the 26th and the 27th, the MC Boys will be having their annual uh, Sereno Christmas tournament um, in honor of their former late great coach, Christy Sereno, who guided them to a couple state championships in 2011 2012. So that will be happening on the 26th and the 27th. So make sure you are subscribed to myhockeylive.com, and highlight videos of those games will be out in the coming weeks on the Game Time Voice YouTube channel. Um, so make sure you are staying tuned for that. I, for one, got all my Christmas shopping done today. um, so it was a crazy morning, but much easier afternoon. And now we're settling in for some NHL hockey. So hopefully that we can finish the day off with another high and a nice Bruins win. So I swear these games are starting like later and later. Um, it says scheduled for 7, and then it's like 10 minutes of waiting and working as best we can to get to the start time. It's almost like UMass Lowell hockey when we go to the games. Friday night it's like 7:15, and you get home and it's like it's almost tomorrow with the amount of time that's gone by. Uh, and for some reason, the Bruins seem like they're doing this too, as we're coming up on 7:11. So literally just waiting for the puck to be dropped between these two. I don't want to say old rivals, um, but when you went through a 7-game war like these teams did in 2011, it doesn't matter who's on the team and who's wearing the jerseys. That stuff kind of sticks with you. It was funny enough, as I grew older, I kind of judged championships in Boston based on did I actually watch it. Um, and a lot of the early stuff, I was way too young to stay up for it, so I would find out in the next morning. The 2011 one was the first one I actually stayed up and watched, and so that was fun. Um, and that whole entire playoff run, uh, the first round series against Montreal that went to 7 games, the revenge sweep against the Flyers after blowing a 3-0 lead the year before, the battle against Tampa Bay, and I will go to my grave saying that Game 7 against Tampa Bay was the best hockey game I've ever watched because it was a 1-0 game. It was back and forth. There wasn't one penalty called in that game. So it was 5-on-5 the entire time, and it's was the best brand of hockey. It was just absolutely crazy. And then of course that just absolute crazy Vancouver series where the first 3 games of Vancouver were all 1-goal games and all tight games. Game 1, Vancouver won 1-0 with 18 seconds left. They scored. Game 2, they won 3-2 in overtimes after they scored 11 seconds into overtime. Then when you came back to Boston, it was just a blowout. Game 2 was 8-1. Game 3 was 4-0. It went back to Vancouver, another 1-0 game. Came back to Boston, it was 5-2. Game 6, and then finally in Game 7, the Bruins actually scored first and then shut out the Canucks on home ice in Game 7. So it was just absolutely crazy. I would invite everyone before we get started, make sure to share the live stream as I got one person watching right now. I know exactly who that is, so thank you very much. You know who you are for watching. But if we can, like, comment, subscribe, and share the live stream so we can get some more people in here and enjoy ourselves. Todd Angeli has got us going with the national anthems. We're almost set to get out of the way for the Vancouver Canucks. Kevin Lankinen, 4-10-3, a 349 goals against, 878 save percentage. He's 0-5-1 in his last 6 starts. So the backup. Meanwhile, Jeremy Swayman, 14-9-0, 276 goals against, 908 save percentage. Against the Canucks, 1-1-2, 1.47, 943. So just an absolute rock against the Vancouver Canucks. Canucks are 3-0-0 in the first three games of this 5-game road trip. And ever since trading away their stars, they've been playing good. David Camp against Fraser Minton, and we are underway at TD Garden. Mark Kaslik will get the puck into the zone, and it'll go behind the net. Kaslik has the puck, gets it back to the point. Zadorov with a shot. That one goes wide. Charlie McAvoy back for it. McAvoy, you're going to wrap it around. Tried to get it out in front, but the puck hopped off his stick. And the Canucks will get it up, but only as far as Charlie. McAvoy going to take it behind. Now he's going to turn and go on Vander Kane. McAvoy dekes it in the middle. Wearing the fishbowl after taking the puck to the face. Over to Morgan Geekie. Geekie with a shot. Handled by Lankinen. Geekie back behind the net. Backhands one in front. Took a deflection. He was looking for Zaka, but that one is cleared, and the Canucks are hemmed in early. Zaka feeds it far ice. Geekie tried to send in Casey Middlestat, but now the Canucks back the other way. Connor Garland will back in behind the net. Hampus Lindholm trying to clear it. Garland. Now Lindholm will take it out. Morgan Geekie goes to Andrew Peak. Peak to Hampus Lindholm. He'll chip it in. And a hand pass called against the Canucks. So that will stop the clock with 18:48 left in the first period. The Bruins off to a hot start early. Face-off controlled. Here's David Pastrnak. Pastrnak tried to go cross ice, so come to Soderstrom. Now it'll be chipped out of the zone, and getting on his horse to get after it is Drew O'Connor. O'Connor behind the net. Mason Lohrei picks it up. Now Hustadinov, he's being harassed in the far boards. Now an indirect pass. Pastrnak onside. Wides up, fires. That one goes well wide. An old school clap bomb from David Pastrnak missed the net by a good 2 feet. Elias Lindholm back for Charlie McAvoy. McAvoy over to Sidorov. Sidorov going to dig in the middle. Going to find Charlie. Charlie going to wrap it around the boards. Lankinen goes to his D man. This one will be cleared all the way down and will go for an icing with 17:51 left in the first. David Pastrnak with the first real scoring chance, a 90-mile-an-hour bomb. Face off to the right of Lankinen, won by the Bruins. Zadorov, wrist shot, took a deflection, was blocked in front, kind of tumbled into the pile. This one will be cleared out of the zone and will go for another icing with 17:42 left in the first. Look at Marco Sturm, 30th head coach of Bruins history, also played 5 years with the Bruins from 2005 to 2010. Face-off won by Elias Lindholm. Lusadinov back to McAvoy over to Zadorov. Zadorov wrist shot goes wide intentionally and is chipped out of the zone. Zadorov back for it. He'll wheel it back around, but over there to get it is Philippe Hronik. Canucks trying to get something going here. It'll be sent in deep around Swayman's net. Zadorov will chip it around. Took a funny bounce off the boards. Now McAvoy being harassed by Marco Rossi. Elias Lindholm provides support. Pastrnak tried to go indirect for Hustadinov, and Hustadinov able to pick it up out of his equipment. Tried to dump it in, but it only goes as far as Hronik. Hronik in his own zone. Now will peel back. And now we'll rush it again as Puck is dumped in on Swayman, and he'll cover with 16:45 left. Don't know if that would necessarily count as the first shot, and I don't think it's going to. Take a look at Adam Foote, former NHL defenseman, and I believe Stanley Cup champion with the Colorado Avalanche. Now the head coach in his first season with the Vancouver Canucks. Face off, stalemate. Pavel Zacha will get it back to the point. Hampus Lindholm chips it down the wall, goes past Casey Middlestad. Be rimmed around the boards. Actually, might have hit a stanchion or the official. Now will be chipped out of the zone. Now coming right back in are the Bruins, not offsides. Puck will go all the way down for another ice. No, it's not going to be icing. Waved off by the officials. Puck into the zone. Casey Middlestad after it. Tried to chip it behind to Pavel Zacha, but hit a Canuck. Now Morgan Geekie back for it. Geekie tried to go cross ice to Peak. McAvoy picks it up. McAvoy loses it. Now here come the Canucks back the other way. Jake DeBrusk on it. DeBrusk peels into the middle, sends a backhand into Swayman, and he will hold. Jake DeBrusk showing that speed that Bruins fans were used to for so many years. Got right into the middle of the backhand, but hit right in the smoked bee of Swayman's chest. So the first shots Jeremy Swayman faces handles it with ease. Face-off will be to his left. Won by Fraser Mitten. McAvoy goes up the wall to Mark Kaslik. Over to Zadorov. Tipped in by Tanner Jeannot. He'll go after it. Jeannot in a battle here. It will come up the wall, and Evander Kane will chip it out. Here's Sherwood. He'll dump it in. Swayman will blocker it to the corner. Now David Kampf leaves it for Jabrusk. Battle along the near side boards. Kane back behind the net for DeBrusk. It actually eludes him. Now Kampf with it behind the net. Working against McAvoy. Kampf back to the point. Pedersen. And now a wrist shot hit a player in front. That was Tom Willander who let that go. Now Tanner Jeannot will take it and will skate. Canucks in the midst of a line change. Jeannot will dump it in. To the left of Lankinen. Back it forward is Elias Pettersson. He'll move it over to Philip Hronik. Into the middle of the ice, picked up nicely there by Connor Garland. Actually, no, excuse me, I believe that was Drew O'Connor. Now a shot goes just wide, letting that shot go was Kiefer Sherwood. Now Soderstrom to Sean Corrali. But the Canucks will send it right back in. No, it will go out of play with 14:20 left in the first period. Take a look at Zeev Byam, one of the players acquired in the trade for Quinn Hughes that netted the Canucks Marco Rossi, Liam Ogren, and a first round pick on December 12th. Bruins actually saw Quinn Hughes make an appearance for the Wild on their most recent road trip, a game that the Bruins would like to forget was 5-2, I believe, the final. Faceoff will be at center ice. And it's won by the Bruins. Husadinov in a battle. Mason Lohrei coming over to provide support. This one chips up in the air. Now will come back in the zone. Swayman will leave it for Soderstrom. Try to go off the wall. But Max Sasson will chip it in. Mason Lohrei back for it. Over to Soderstrom. Now Husadinov. Over to Lohrei. Here comes Elias Lindholm. Lindholm goes cross ice to Pasternak. Pasternak to Soderstrom. Now back, trying to look for Pasternak, but a good break up there by Filip Hronek. Soderstrom back for Husadinov. Over to Pasternak. Now it's chipped out of the zone. Andrew Peak back for it. Goes over to Hampus Lindholm. Took a deflection off Canuck. Now Husadinov will leave it for Lindholm, and the Bruins will change out the forward lines. Lindholm sends it over to his D partner Peak. Zacha goes cross ice to Morgan Geekie. Geekie had a poke off his stick, tried to go back to the point, but now here come the Canucks back the other way here. But poked off by Hampus Lindholm. Casey Middlestat will reverse and swivel and turn and jive, but Canucks will come away with it. Sent in deep by Max Sasson. Actually, no, excuse me, that was Marco Rossi, but it'll come up the boards. Here comes Morgan Geekie. Geekie goes over to Middlestat. Middlestat drops it for Lindholm, tried to let a shot go, took a deflection, and Lankinen had to be ready for it, and it was steered out of there by his defenseman. Casey Middlestat will turn and go. Middlestat up the middle. Lets a shot go. Lankinen enhances it. Now a rebound goes right across, and nobody unable to get underneath it. McAvoy goes to Zacha. Delayed penalty here against the Canucks. This one goes cross ice, will be chipped out of the zone, and we're going to get our first penalty of the night. And it's going to go against the Canucks. It's going to be a hook on Tyler Myers. And so the Bruins will go to the power play for the first time tonight. With 12:26 left in the first and nothing doing between the former Stanley Cup rivals. Yes, thank you guys for noticing. In addition to the Christmas shopping, I also got a haircut and a beard trim. So all set and ready for the holidays. I will say this. I want to make sure I was a little bit. I want to make sure my camera was all focused, but I will say this: the worst time, or I say the worst time because it's you have to get it at some point. But the worst time to get a haircut and a beard trim is in the winter because all of a sudden you lose all this coverage on your head. And yes, you can wear a hat, but even with a hat with this less coverage on your head, like your your face and your head is very very cold. You can cover this up with a nice winter hat, but this gets cold for some reason all of a sudden. It's like and it's almost weird, but as long as you got a nice wool hat and you have plenty of layers, you should be all set and ready to go. So the Bruins will go to the power play. They will send out Zaka, Lindholm, Pasternak, Geekie, and McAvoy, who actually scored on the power play against the Oilers in their previous game. Face off, controlled by the Bruins. McAvoy back for it. Goes across to Geekie. Geekie tried to send in the middle looking for Lindholm. Lindholm battling for it, goes cross ice. It'll come out of the zone here, and the Canucks will clear. McAvoy back for it. We'll bring it up, drop it back for Pavel Zacha. Zacha goes over to Elias Lindholm. Cross ice Morgan Geekie. Geekie sends it into the middle, took a deflection. Lindholm back for it. Pasternak back for Zacha. Now Lindholm lets a shot go, hits something in front. I don't know if it was Lankinen or the post. Pasternak in the middle looking for Lindholm. Back for McAvoy. Over to Geekie. Lets a shot go and he scores! He can't stop scoring. The Geek Squad business is in full effect. Morgan Geekie gets the Bruins on the board. It's 1-0. Charlie McAvoy baited the defense over to Morgan Geekie with a one-timer from the hash marks in front of the boards, and two straight games with a power play goal. The Bruins are up 1-0 early. Great zone entry from the Bruins, able to corral the puck a couple times. Zaka had Lindholm, and Lindholm, I think, kind of just fanned on it. And got back to the point, and McAvoy set up Geekie. Kaslik into the middle, broken up by Evander Kane. He'll put Andrew Peeke under pressure. Peeke goes off the boards and out. And across they will go to Hampus Lindholm. He'll dump it in. Mark Kaslik back for it. Putting him under pressure was Elias Pettersson. Now coming away with it is David Kampf. Tanner Jeannot in on the forecheck. Fraser Minton now battling for it. Jeannot try to go back for Minton. Kampf picks it off. He goes back to Kane, but a shot from the point by Peeke never got through. Fraser Minton back for it in front of his own bench. Hampus Lindholm now goes cross ice to Tanner Jeannot. His team in the midst of a change. Jeannot stands up a bite. Now here comes Mikey Eyssimont. Eyssimont lets a shot go, and Lankinen will handle that with the glove with 10:27 left in the first period. As the Bruins have come out strong here in the first period. Face off in a stalemate. Now a bouncing puck almost got through to Lankinen, but now the Canucks will pick it up. Chipping it up the boards is Drew O'Connor, but it hit a teammate. Now here comes Sean Corrali. Corrali trying to deke through the middle. Now a backhand from Jeffrey Veal got deflected and goes wide. Mikey Eastmont back for Mason Lohrei. That one goes wide. Soderstrom leaves it for Eastmont. Puts it back down low for Corrali. Corrali going to leave it for Eastmont. And in the middle, looking for Viel. Kind of had his stick tangled up. Couldn't get anything on it. Corrali tried to find Lohrei, but couldn't do it. Now here comes Kiefer Sherwood. Sherwood tried to go in the middle for Kampf. Lohrei picks it up. Now he finds Sean Corrali. Corrali, it's got Pasternak. Pasternak goes down, and we're going to have another penalty here against the Canucks. This one, I believe, is going to be a trip. And it's going to be on Marcus Pettersson. And it's going to be a trip. So the Bruins with one power play goal already are going to go back on the power play again. It's Morgan Geekie put them up 1-0. They're going to try to make it 2-0. It's amazing to me how Morgan Geekie had a great year last year. And everyone said, you got to re-sign him. You got to re-sign him. But some of them were like, well, could he keep up what was a breakout performance last year and a really good performance for him? Could he keep that going now that he signed the big year deal? He's getting paid $5.5 million a year. And somehow, after signing a massive contract, he's been better this year than he was last year. And in a team that has Pasternak, Lindholm, McAvoy, all those stars, and Swayman, the number one player for the Bruins this year has been Morgan Geekie, and it hasn't even been close. So Marcus Pettersson will go to the box for a trip on David Pastrnak. The Bruins will go back to the power play. Face off again, won by the Bruins. McAvoy to Geekie. Down low for Elias Lindholm. He'll backhand it back out to Geekie. Now to Lindholm. We'll take it in the middle, let a shot go. That one, I think Lankinen got a piece of it, but then it hit off. I don't know if he got a piece of it and then it hit off the post. Either way, did not go in. The Bruins will reset. 1:35 left on the power play. Charlie McAvoy up the ice in the hurry. Drops it back for Zacha. Over to Elias Lindholm. Now Pastrnak. Good zone entry here from the Bruins. Pastrnak will wheel. Finds McAvoy. Over to Pastrnak. Pastrnak into the face-off circle. Looks. Now we'll back it out. Back to McAvoy at the point. Over to Pastrnak again. Lets a shot go. Saved by Lankinen. The rebound still loose. Lankinen might have popped that right in and out of his glove. Pastrnak into the middle. Lindholm shot. Saved by Lankinen, and it's cleared. Now the second power play unit will come out. Hampus Lindholm. Leave it for Hustadinov. They're out there with Middlestat, Minton, and Easymont. Now in the middle. Easymont tried to set it back for Hustadinov. Pastrnak actually the lone person from the first unit out there. Easymont. Down low to Middlestat. Middlestat. Up for Lindholm. Over to Pastrnak. One timer saved by Lincoln, and he'll hold this one. With 16 seconds left. So Lindholm is taking the place of Fraser Minton. Actually, Fraser Minton might come out here now on this power play unit. Bruins have 8 shots on goal. The Canucks just have 1. Face off one by Middlestat. Lohrei. Down low to Middlestat. Over to Hustadinov. Back for Hampus Lindholm. Lohrei into the middle for Easymont. Kicks it back to Lindholm. Winds up, fires, saved by Lincoln in Middlestat. Able to clear it out. Penalty has expired. No, now Easymont goes down again. Nothing doing on that one. Bruins might have hit their quota already for the period. Hampus Lindholm back for it. Turns on a dime. Over to Mason Lohrei. In the middle. Tipped along by Terrence Janot. Now Easymont tried to send it in the middle for Janot, but it was blocked. Now backhanded out by Elias Pettersson. Actually, Janot keeps it in. Zadorov winds and fires. Saved by Lankinen. Now in the middle, a shot got blocked. Janot was looking to cash in. Janot back for it. Hopped off his stick. Tried to cut back into the middle. Now Vander Kane will pick it up. He'll chip it along. He's going to try to beat Andrew Peeke. Kane lets a shot go. It comes all the way out to the defensive end of the Canucks. Here comes Marcus Pettersson. He'll dump in it. Glove down by Zadorov. Goes over to Peeke. Peeke had it hop off his stick. Now here come the Canucks, and a shot goes just wide. Letting that shot go was Max Sasson. Now Janot goes across to Peeke. Peeke will dump it in. First to get it there for the Canucks is Tyler Myers. He goes up the middle. Here comes Max Sasson. Sasson into the middle, took a deflection. Battle. Now Sasson will get the puck. That one took a shot and was blocked. Sent around the boards. Back to the point. Philip Pernick lets a shot go, and Swayman has that in his glove easily. And he'll hold with 5:48 left in the first. Morgan Geekie on the power play, the lone goal so far, as the Bruins have dominated this first period here on the Game Time Voice YouTube channel. Been a great game so far from the Bruins. They just got to finish this period off right. It's been very, very fun this season so far for the Bruins because a team that nobody had expectations for, especially how last year went, and they are in a four-way tie for second in the Atlantic and have been one of the top two teams in that division for the majority of the year. And if they can get some of the players they have on the injured reserve list back, no telling how good this team can be. So it has been, yes, if you haven't noticed. So I want to give a shout out as we are back from commercial. Actually, you know what? I'll do the shout out in the intermission. But yes, we have two cards here, actually covering up the Patriots helmet, um, which for this live stream is perfect. But I got my family here, my parents, my sister, and my brother. I'm going to say that, my brother Andrew. Um, and then above it is a nice card I got from my uncle. So shout out to my uncle Ray, uh, it was funny. I always get a card every year from my grandparents and my uncle. This year, it being her tree that she did at the Festival of Trees, which is a big thing in the state of Massachusetts, particularly up northern part of it. And she got a card, and it's always signed Love, Nana Nanu, and of course, Uncle Ray. And her tree this year was a tree based on the movie Frozen. So I got that card. And then all of a sudden, a couple days ago, I got a card and it said from their address as a shot comes in, saved by Swayman. The rebound goes just wide of the net. And Zadorov will bring it up to Asimon and he'll clear. And now Sean Corelli in a battle here, but Canucks able to control it. And so I got a card, but it said it was from, their house. And I'm like, well, I think they already sent me their card. But all of a sudden, I saw it was Elvis on the thing, and I'm like, oh, this is from Uncle. So yeah, shout out to Uncle Ray for sending me his own card this year. Nice, nice touch. 4:36 left. Shots are 10-3 in favor of the Bruins. Canucks trying to find something. As Husadinov has a partial break, but coming back, breaking that up was Brock Besser. Now here come the Canucks back the other way. This is Marcus Pettersson, but the Canucks are offsides at the blue line with 4:18 left in the first period. So yeah, I got a nice card from my grandparents. I got a nice card from my family. Uh, and I got a nice card from my uncle so far this year. So it's fun. As a matter of fact, my sister and her boyfriend, my brother Andrew, they actually sent me their own cards too, as they have their own place for the first time in a while. So this one wrapped in by the Bruins. Terrence Janot goes behind the net. Fraser Minton tried to send it out in front, but hit off the side of the net. Now here comes Evander Kane for the Canucks. He'll chip it in. Andrew Peak back for it. Goes around the boards to Kastelik. Kastelik tried to help it along, but Kane will dump it right back in. Jake DeBrusk in a battle. Now the puck kept in by Kane. Goes across for DeBrusk. Sent shot in the middle. David Kampf in a battle. Now we're going to get a penalty here. This one I think is going to go against the Bruins. So the Canucks will have their first power play with 3:41 left in the first. And it's going to be Andrew Peeke who's going to go for a hook. Andrew Peeke, who switched numbers this year to 26. So I'll make sure I got his number right. Face off. Won by Kaslik, and Zadorov will take it, skate, and then just put it right down the river. Bad to get it are the Canucks. Puck sent in deep. Jake DeBrusk back for it. But he's breaking out the puck. Charlie McAvoy kind of fanned on it. It was a tumbling muffin. And Mark Kaslik trying to go 1-on-2, but broken up by Connor Garland. Back to get it for the Canucks is Byam. Byam into it. Garland drops it for Besser. Besser tried to let a shot go, but it's deflected and will go out of play with 1:18 left on the power play. Bruins penalty kill is 18th in the NHL at just over 80%. Their power play is 4th. So, as a welcome sight, faceoff was won by the Bruins and will be sent down the length of the ice. 106 left on the power play. Here come the Canucks. Kane dumps it back around. Hronek tried to set it up, but now season that is. Oh no, that was Carlson. Either way, it's dumped out. 47 seconds left on the power play. Here comes Tom Willander. Kane over to Willander. Sends it down low. Besser held to long. Now McAvoy picks it up. Tanner Jeannot will send it down the length of the ice. 2 minutes left here in the first period. 20 seconds left on the power play. Evander Kane in the middle was looking for Marco Rossi. Kaslik leaves it for Lori. He will send it down on Lincoln. They'll settle it. 5 seconds left on the power play. Should kill the rest of it off. Here comes Tyler Myers. Peeke exit the box, and the Canucks are offside with 1:38 left in the first period. Been a very, very good period for the Bruins so far. Just got to finish it though. Shots are 12-3 in their favor. It's off one by the Bruins. Soderstrom over to Lori. Goes off the boards to Lindholm. Lindholm sends it in. Morgan Geekie stops. Gonna bring it around the net. Send it out front and a skate. Now Lindholm with a shot saved. Rebound. Geekie tried to go across to Pastrnak. Couldn't handle it. Geekie leaves it for Pastrnak. Pastrnak trying to deke through. Now Pastrnak settles a bouncing puck and puts a shot just wide. Now Marcus Pettersson will break it out. Pettersson stripped by Geekie. Lindholm trying to get there, but Hronek will pick it up. Hronek comes back. Under a minute left in the first period. 1-0 Bruins on a goal from Morgan Geekie on the power play. Here come the Canucks. Steve Byam over for Connor Garland. Garland had to poke off his stick. Middlestat trying to send Zacha. Couldn't settle the bouncing puck. Husadinov dekes through a couple legs. Now Husadinov back behind the net. Sends it over. Shot from Lindholm. Save. Rebound. Zacha tried to find Middlestat, but he hit his skate. Now the Canucks will go cross ice here, peak in a battle with Liam Ogren. Hampus Lindholm comes out of the pack with it. He gets buried by a Canuck and a shot and a score with 13 seconds left. Max Sasson will get the goal. It was battle on the side. Carlson, Lindholm got buried in the corner, and it was just a wheel pass out in front. Swayman gets beat blocker side. It was a gorgeous pass from Liam Ogren. So the Bruins, in a period in which they dominated, will go into the locker room tied at 1. Morgan Geekie with the goal on the power play, and Max Sasson late has us tied at 1. As we will head to the first intermission here on the Game Time Voice YouTube channel. Tough end of the period for the Bruins. Tough end. You only give up 4 shots, one of them goes in. You get 12, and only one of them goes in. Should have had more. But that will give me a chance to talk about some out of town scores at the moment in many different levels. For example, up in Toronto, the Celtics with a 41-33 lead over the Raptors. That has 5:24 left in the second quarter. As a matter of fact, why don't we, since I have the capabilities to do it, you'll pop, well, actually, no. Yep, 5:24 left in the second quarter. Celtics with an 8-point lead, 41-33. In terms of across the NHL landscape, make sure I'll pop over as best I can. So on the scoreboard today, the Islanders and Sabres went to a shootout. I'm just trying to see. Oh, they're currently in a shootout. It's tied at 2 between the Islanders and the Sabres. Okay, I'm like, why are you not giving me a final score? So that one currently in a shootout. At the end of 2, the Blues are up 3-2 over the Florida Panthers. The Canadians up 2-0 on the Penguins. That one at the end of the first. Hurricanes up 3-0 on the Lightning. Predators down 1-0 to the Maple Leafs. That game in Nashville. On the In the finals, final scores today, Rangers win 5-4 in a shootout over the Flyers. Red Wings win 5-2 over the Caps. Senators win 6-4 in a barn burner against the Blackhawks, and the Wild up win 5-2. Wild are 22-9-5 on the Oilers. In terms of games, all on the West Coast. Flames will host the Golden Knights in Calgary. Not really West Coast, but kind of. Uh, in Anaheim, the Ducks will host the Blue Jackets. And really West Coast, the Sharks will host the Kraken. So that is the look at the NHL out of town scoreboard. To the high school level, uh, the Duxbury girls, the Duxbury Dragons, blanked Plymouth today 4-0. On the boys' side, the Blackstone Valley Tech Beavers won 4-3 against Hudson High School. Woburn Tanners win 2-0 against Wilmington. Essex and Linfield skate to a 3-3 tie. Lexington beat Melrose 2-1. Auburn beat Longmeadow 4-1. On the girls' side, Natick beat Newton North/South Tigers 4-1. Back on the boys' side, Westfield beat Grafton 6-3, or West Springfield, I should say, beat Grafton 6-3. Tewksbury opens up a can on Acton Boxborough 8-0. Arlington beat Stoneham Wilmington 2-0. That on the girls' side. Also on the girls' side, Belmont beat Burlington 4-2. Winthrop, the girls, beat Newburyport 5-0. Back on the boys' side, Westwood beat Medfield 3-2. Hanover beat Plymouth 6-3. Needham and Braintree skate to a 1-1 tie. Back on the girls' side, Dennis Yarmouth beat Nantucket 9-0. Back on the boys' side, St. Bernard beat East Hampton 7-1. Northbridge beat East Boston 6-0. Over to the girls, Westwood Wolverines beat Dover Sherborne Hopkinton 5-0. Boston Latin beats Latin Academy/Fontbonne 9-1. On the boys, Hopedale Milford beat Fitchburg Monty Tech 4-3. On the girls, the Pope Francis Cardinals beat Marblehead 5-1. And many others to follow. High school hockey is off and running. As we switch over to NBC Sports Boston, Celtics up 43-35, 3:40 left in the second quarter. Check that. It's now 43-38 on a Raptors 3. Celtics trying to get a win here north of the border. Anthony Simons steps back, three-pointer, buries it. Store an 8-point lead, 46-38. And the Raptors respond here. 46-41, 3 minutes left in the second quarter. Simons pulls back. That one's short. And the Raptors are coming the other way with it. A back rim three. Here comes Peyton Pritchard. Pritchard leaves it for Hauser. Hauser, that one, I don't know if it got deflected or Hauser got hit, but he nails a three, 49-41. Scotty Barnes going to get wrapped up and make it. And got whacked by Nemias Keita. So 49-41. Celtics up on the Raptors. And I will be right back, folks. You are watching during the first intermission, Canucks 1, Bruins 1. You're watching NHL hockey commentary here on the Game Time Voice YouTube channel. I'll be back in just a second. All right, I'm back. I had to go grab a tissue for just a sec. So, uh, for those of you just joining us, welcome. Thank you guys, as always, for your guys' support of this channel. A little bit of a programming note. Maybe I'll post a short here or there next week. But in terms of actual videos, probably won't be any videos next week as it is the week of Christmas. I kind of want to just take a chance, relax, and enjoy myself. So probably won't post any videos per se. But the week after we'll be back to regularly scheduled stuff. So just quick heads up. Uh, we also we have a bunch of stuff going on next week. I got my upcoming broadcasting schedule for My Hockey Live and the Always On Media Group flashing down below. It's going to be a fun. I'm just now realizing this. It's going to be a fun weekend after Christmas. I got two hockey games, both for the Malden Catholic boys. Well, actually, no. On Tuesday I have the Malden Catholic girls as they'll be taking on Nauset Regional. Uh, Wednesday's Christmas Eve, Thursday Christmas Day, Friday the 26th. I'll be again Malden Catholic. It will be the boys as they will take on, I believe it's Masco in their first game of the Christy Sereno Holiday Tournament, tournament in honor of their former head coach. Then on Saturday, another Sereno Malden Catholic game, to be determined, as they'll be playing in the consolation or the championship game. So that one, time and opponent to be determined. And then on Sunday at 3:30, UMass Lowell Riverhawks are back in action with an exhibition against the Bentley Falcons. That one's at 3:30 um, on Sunday afternoon. So it'll be, in addition to the holidays, it'll be a week filled with hockey uh, this upcoming week. So looking forward to that. Speaking of the Malden Catholic boys, they have currently, unbelievably, uh, they are currently playing Marshfield. There's under 2 minutes left in the second period. They were down 3-0. They have now come back and tied it at 3. So an amazing game going down at the Forum here in Malden between the Rams and the Lancers. That is a heck of a game going on right now. I'll definitely be going back and watching the highlights of this one. So, uh, I got a feeling, because I know who's watching, but I got a feeling I know what everybody's plans are for Christmas because I kind of have a feeling who's watching, and if it is the people I'm thinking of, then we all have the same plans. So I'll just I'll leave that to be. But let me just say this: if there are people in the stream who are watching who are not immediate family of mine, uh, why don't you let us know what your plans are for Christmas? And I'm not saying that to disparage anybody in my family who is watching, but the only reason why I'm saying that is because your plans are probably the same as my plans this holiday season. So, um, because we're all going to the same place. Uh, I will tell the viewers what those plans are. Christmas Eve, we normally spend at my grandmother's house, and there's a bunch of us, um, aunts, uncles, brothers, sisters, moms, dads, cousins alike, um, from all of from our entire family. It's a big one. Uh, Christmas morning, yeah, exactly. Shout out to my dad who put it brilliantly. It's just a small Christmas Eve gathering of about 45 people. So that's the Christmas Eve plan. Christmas morning, I'll spend with my parents, my sister, and her boyfriend, my brother from another mother, Andrew, um, my sister Jamie, my mom, Kathleen, and my dad, also Michael. Um, which, by the way, you guys saw. If you haven't seen it already, go and check out my Riverhawk vlog where we went to Lake Placid. My dad does make an appearance in that vlog. Um, actually twice. At the end of it, when we're recapping the weekend, and he actually does the luge in the Lake Placid experience. So go check that out. Um, we'll be spending Christmas morning with the four of them, and then we're back at my grandmother's. In the morning, my grandmother, my grandfather, my both my uncles, my aunt, and my cousin will be spending Christmas morning with them in addition to the five of us. So, and then will just be a nice, relaxing Christmas morning. So it'll be interesting to see what Christmas brings us this amazing season. All right, teams are back out on the ice as we are just about set to get the second period back underway. I wanted to do the skeleton. I I don't I don't get it. Um, I will be the first to say, um, I will be the first to say, I am a scaredy cat. Um, I and so I have no guts really, but um, for those of you who don't know what the skeleton is at the Winter Olympics, you know how they have the luge, which is basically a two-person, sled going down. A skeleton is basically one person doing this, basically getting on their stomach and bombing down a hill. We talk about hockey players being a little nuts. You have to be nuts to do this, but so it's absolutely crazy. I will say this: Lake Placid was one of my favorite trips that I've ever done. And it was absolutely awesome. Like being there with my dad and seeing a town that it's crazy to think that that town hosted the Winter Olympics. And even for it being in 1980, just the fact that you had athletes and people traveling there, it was absolutely crazy. Back underway here in the second period, Bruins and Canucks tied at 1. Shots are 13-4 in favor of the Bruins. Charlie McAvoy back for it gets plastered by Evander Kane. Shot blocked in front by Tanner Jeannot, and the Canucks will bring it back out. Jake DeBrusk back. Actually, no, excuse me. That was Zeev Byam, and they'll tip it in. Nikita Zadorov back for it. Goes up the ice, tipped in by Pavel Zacha. Lankin in back for it, leaves it for Philip Roenick. Roenick Goes across to Marcus Persson. Back for Hronik behind the net. Stretch pass. Tipped along. Now here come the Canucks into the offensive zone. This is Marco Rossi. Pedersen tried to go across for Garland, but it was broken up. Pedersen over to, I believe that's Brock Besser. Now a shot saved by Swayman, still loose in the paint. Mike and Casey Milstad will break it up. Milstad tried to chip it around Hronik, but he's knocked off the puck, and Marcus Pedersen back for it. Pedersen over to Connor Garland. Garland gonna backhand it deep. Hampus Lindholm back for it. Lindholm goes around the boards. Casey Milstad in front of the penalty bench. Far side, they will battle for it. Now puck taken over by Zaka, but off his stick and dumped right back in. Swayman tried to stop it, but hopped over his stick. Peak up for Geekie. Zaka trying to pick it up. Delayed offsides. Canucks tag up. Hampus Lindholm chipped in. Over to get it for the Bruins is Elias Lindholm. Up the boards, and now the Canucks try to break it out, but Husadinov picks it up. Now Mason Lohrei tried to set up Pasternak and couldn't get it through. This one will go all the way down. No icing here, as I believe Elias Lindholm had a play on it. 17:40 left in the first period. Here comes Pasternak. Pasternak trying to shrug off a check, but gets ridden all the way to the boards, but comes out of the pack with it, send it out in front, but nobody there in a black and gold sweater. Puck in the Bruins zone, picked up by Liam Ogren. This line with Sasson and Carlson had the lone goal. Husadinov tried to find Lohrei, but goes over his stick, and the Canucks will pick it up. Into the zone comes Ogren. Leaves it for Carlson. Now Sasson. He has the lone Canucks goal. Jeffrey Viel will pick it up for the Bruins. He'll chip it up the boards. Mikey Esimont will battle here. Sean Corrali. Esimont trying to get it back, but was a high stick called. It was played with the high stick. Actually, no, it will be a penalty for a high stick. Looks like it's going to go against the Bruins. And it'll be Mikey Esimont. Yeah, got the stick up on Zeev Byam. So the Bruins will go back to the penalty kill. Canucks 0 for 1, and they did not register a single shot on their previous power play. Jake DeBrusk against Mark Kaslick. Bruins will win the faceoff, and Nikita Zadorov will send it down the ice. So Canucks are trying to get some possession on their power play. It'll be their top unit of Garland, Rossi, Besser, DeBrusk, and Byam. Garland stepped up at the blue line, and Zadorov will send it down. Canucks just trying to get possession in the offensive zone here. Garland will chip it in on Swayman, bumps it for McAvoy. And McAvoy will pick it up, and he will go for a skate. Charlie McAvoy in the middle, try to find Fraser Mitten, missed him by a little bit, and now here come the Canucks back 3-on-2 if they can hurry, but Bruins able to get back. Now Fraser Mitten will pick it up, and he'll send it down the length of the ice. 105 left on the power play. Jake DeBrusk out. Actually, here comes the second unit. Now pass in the middle, and a deflection goes in. It'll be Linus Carlson with the power play goal. As Swayman came out to play the puck, it went past him and it was hit with such force that it came right back out in front, and Carlson had a wide open net. So the Bruins now down 2-1. So they got to get back in this in a hurry. Out shooting 13-7, but Canucks taking more of their chances. Indirect pass. Here comes David Pastrnak. Pastrnak had a poke off his stick. Goes across. Here comes Mason Lohrei right down Broadway. Saved by Lankinen. Now Hustadinov. He lets a shot go. That one whistles wide. Hustadinov in a battle with Roenick. Coming over to provide support. Pastrnak unable to keep it in. Zadorov back for it. Zadorov will spin. Now turn. He's got Mason Lohrei in support. Now Zadorov will go behind the net. Break it out. Pass picked up by Casey Middlestad. Goes across for Geekie. Winds, fires. That one goes wide. Second slap shot we've seen tonight. Pavel Zacha leaves it for McAvoy. That one got blocked. And now we got a scrum. Feeling like old times between the Bruins and the Canucks. So the Bruins answer with a good stretch. McAvoy let a shot go and it got blocked. I think it was Drew Connor. And then McAvoy drops Philip Roenick. And before that, David Pastrnak finds more Lindholm, who goes across to Mason Lohrei and just couldn't put it through. Face off to the right of Kevin Lankinen, won by the Canucks. Bynum leaves it behind, evades his D partner, Morgan Geekie. Now Charlie McAvoy will send it right back in. Will come all the way around and kept in by Zadorov. Tried to go across to McAvoy. Now here comes Jake DeBrusk. DeBrusk sends it in the middle off the side of the net. Zadorov finds Geekie. Goes across to Pavel Zacha. Zacha trying to settle a rolling puck. Now back in the middle. Here comes Hampus Lindholm. Lindholm lets a wrist shot go. That one took a deflection and goes out of play. 13:44 left in the second. The Bruins now down 2-1 against the Vancouver Canucks and looking to get something going. Looking back on this, it is now 3-3 after two at the Malden Valley Forum. That is a heck of a game. That Malden Catholic team lost their opening game just the other day against Nauset Regional 4-1. I say opening game. They were supposed to open up against Medford High in Medford. I was supposed to do that game, but it is that time of year. There was a neurovirus outbreak at Medford High School. So for everyone's safety, that one got, I believe it was canceled. I don't know if it was postponed or not. Uh, so That was MC Boys' first game. The MC Girls are out to a 2-0 start. They had a 1-0 win against Boston Latin. Then they had a 3-2 victory against the Woburn Tanners, which, if you haven't done so already, that game, the Woburn Tanners against the Malden Catholic Lancers in girls hockey, is now out on the Game Time Voice YouTube channel. All the highlights from the game are now out, and my commentary of that is now out on the channel. So once you are done watching this, although it might be a little bit later in the evening, but at some point within the next couple days, go and check that out on the Game Time Voice YouTube channel. Face off to the right of Kevin Lankinen. And Marco Rossi will be thrown out. Brock Besser will take it against Fraser Minton. And now Fraser will be thrown out. Just drop the puck, will ya? Darren Janot to take it. And it's won by the Bruins. Hampus Lindholm fires. That one, Lankinen got a piece of it. Might have gotten tipped in front. Now Peak lets a wrist shot go. That one leaves a rebound. Now a second try. Lankinen stops that one as well. Kevin Lankinen coming up big for the Canucks in this period. Puck clears out of the zone. Andrew Peak back for it. Goes up the wall of Fraser Minton. Minton trying to turn on it, and it'll go back into the zone. Elias Persson, stretch pass, finds Marco Rossi. Brock Besser trying to work on Mason Lohrei. Hustadinov clears it out of the zone. Sent right back in by Elias Pettersson. Mason Lohrei helps it along. Now here comes Hustadinov. He needs some support here. Unable to keep it in the zone. Now here come the Canucks back the other way with it. This is Max Sasson. Sasson will actually send it in, and Swayman will cover it up. See, this Hampus Lindholm shot came off the shoulder of Lankinen. That Peak let a shot go. That one got deflected. Then Kaslik again hit the right pad. 12:37 left in the second. Shots are 20-8. Favor of the Bruins, but the Canucks up 2-1 on the scoreboard, and they win the faceoff. Linus Carlson lets a shot in on net. I don't know if that got to Swayman or not, but it went to the boards. Soderstrom in a battle with Carlson. Now puck squeaks out in front. Hustadinov tried to let it go, but a shot there goes wide of Swayman's net. Tyler Meyer back for it. Goes across to Linus Carlson. Carlson tried to send it in deep. Now he will. It goes around. Soderstrom back for the Bruins to get it. That hopped off his stick. We'll go back to the point to DeBrusque. Over to Myers. Myers sends it behind the net. Mason Lohrei goes to Soderstrom. Soderstrom goes off the boards, but it's kept in only for a moment by the Canucks, and now Swayman will have to cover with 11:52 left in the second period. I have to go to bed after this game. I'm old. Yeah, but Dad, I know you've already watched the video, so that's not directed towards you. So trust me, I know that you were one of the first people to do it. By the way, quick programming note, folks. If you haven't done so already, I know a bunch of you are subscribed. Make sure while you're subscribed, you hit that notification bell. And once you hit it, you select all, because that will actually let you guys know. It will send you a notification when new videos are posted. So make sure you have done that. Charlie McAvoy in his own zone. Behind the net, able to shrug off a check. Zadorov tried to get it out, but Evander Kane comes up with it. Sends it in the middle, evades everybody, goes back to the point with a shot, handled by the blocker of Swayman. Now Jeffrey Vriel trying to get to a puck. It will come in on Lankinen, and he will hold for a faceoff. 11:24 left. And I think we might be getting matching penalties here. I think Viel and Kane, I think they're both going to go. And Kane and Viel do not want to let go of each other. It was Viel in a battle with Phil Peronic to get to the puck. And then Viel and Kane exchange jabs with their gloves. So Viel to the box and Kane to the box. So it'll be 4-on-4. Both players going off for roughing. At 11:24, with 11:24 left in the second. Face off to the left of Kevin Lankinen. Now Elias Lindholm will be thrown out. David Pastrnak will take the draw. And it will be won by Marco Rossi. Philip Roenick back for it. Kept in by Elias Lindholm. McAvoy over to Pastrnak. Pastrnak trying to make some move at the blue line. Had it poked out of the zone. Hampus Lindholm back for it. Hampus will leave it for Pastrnak. Go back to Hampus Lindholm. Lindholm chips it for Pastrnak. Pastrnak in the middle. Tried to leave it for Hampus. That one he blew a tire. Here comes Jake DeBrusk in on a breakaway. DeBrusk shot saved by Swayman. First big save of the night for Jeremy Swayman on the former Bruin Jake DeBrusk. Hampus Lindholm blew a tire at the blue line, and DeBrusk was all by himself. Tried to go backhand between the 5-hole, and Sway shut it down. Face-off controlled by the Canucks. Zadorov in the corner has a Canuck buried against the boards. It's Connor Garland. Mason Lohrei tried to pick it out. Now here comes Casey Middlestat up this right side. Pavel Zacha coming with him. Middlestat into the middle for Zadorov. Zadorov goes wide with it. Tries to go across the Middlestat. He scores. Excuse me. Pavel Zacha on the doorstep. And the Bruins have tied it at 2. Beautiful breakout there from the Bruins. Middlestat up this right-hand side. Sent it back in the middle. The trailing Zadorov went around Bynum, and Zacha was waiting at the post as Lincoln had committed to Zadorov's shot. And the Bruins have tied it at 2. Pavel Zacha, his 10th goal in the year, his 25th point. We're still 4-on-4 for another 56 seconds. Face-off controlled by the Bruins. Zadorov goes across to Morgan Geekie. Now back for Mason Lohrei. Lohrei will take it in. Find Geekie. Geekie back for Lohrei. Lohrei will come right back out. Protect the puck nicely. Tried to find Morgan Geekie, but that one's picked off. Now here come the Canucks back the other way. Kiefer Sherwood will go back to Elias Pettersson. 30 seconds, actually 26 seconds to be exact, left on the 4-on-4. 9:43 left in the second period. We're tied at 2. Here comes Tom Willander. Willander deked into nothing. Fraser Minton picked him off and forced him out of the zone. Hampus Lindholm back for Mason Lohrei. Now here comes Morgan Geekie. He's got Fraser Minton going in the middle. Geekie try to go across to Hampus Lindholm. Here come the Canucks. 3-on-2. Evander Kane and Jeffrey Viel out of the box. Now we're back to 5-on-5. That one, don't know if it got to Swayman, but here comes Elias Lindholm. Lindholm will send it in deep. He'll go against Phil Peronic. Now Evander Kane will actually no, excuse me. That is Linus Carlson. Now Hustadinov back for Zadorov. Zadorov lets a high one go, and it was gloved by Kevin Lankinen, and he will hold. Pavel Zacha, his 10th goal of the season on a nice pass from Nikita Zadorov, has tied this game up at 2. So the Bruins have answered that tough stretch very nicely. We got a brand new hockey game here at TD Garden. This Canuck team, ironically, ever since trading Quinn Hughes, have played teams tough. The Bruins are finding that out firsthand. So the Bruins have got to find some momentum. They have it. They just got to sustain it. I'll be interested to see how the rest of this game goes. So both of these teams are looking for wins right now. Come back live to TD Garden. With 8:51 left in the second period, we are tied at 2. Been a fun game so far. Face off to the right of Kevin Lankinen. And it's controlled by Mark Kastelic. Kastelic needs some support. It comes from Tanner Jeannot. Jeannot's going to go around the boards. Soderstrom tried to pinch. Now, able to win that battle is Kiefer Sherwood against Mason Lohrei, but Lohrei comes out of the pack with it. Now Kastelic finds Jeannot. Jeannot stops. Sends it back down low, looking for Kastelic. Chipped up. Mason Lohrei keeps it in, was trying to find Fraser Minton. Now Kiefer Sherwood trying to go for it, but it will go all the way down. Soderstrom took a check. Now here comes Fraser Minton with Tanner Jeannot and Mark Kastelic. 3-on-2 if they can hurry. Kastelic back for Jeannot. Tried to get a shot through. Kept in the blue line by Soderstrom. Kastelic across for Jeannot. He scores! Oh, that one was pretty. Minton to Kastelic back across for Jeannot, and the Bruins have restored a lead. It's now 3-2. Jeannot let a shot go, kept in by Soderstrom. Soderstrom to Minton to Kastelic, back across for Jeannot. That is tic-tac-toe beauty. That's one you put on the highlight reel. With 7:55 left in the second, the Bruins are back on top. It's now 3-2. And an icing here against the Canucks. Kaslik got across to Jeannot. That one got blocked in front. Came back to Soderstrom. Found Min. Went to the left to Kaslik, and a blind backhand pass found Jeannot. Unbelievable tally there. Face off controlled by the Bruins. Nikita Zadorov. Back to the point. Lets a wrist shot go. Blocked in front. Still loose. And the Canucks able to get it out, but kept in by the Bruins. Shot by Asimont goes wide. Bruins are buzzing right now. And Myers will break it out. Now here come the Canucks back 3-on-2 if they can hurry. Sasson. Now back in the middle. Shot saved by Swayman. Liam Ogren lets it go. I'll pass across and the Bruins will clear it. It's a tumbling puck and will not go for an icing. Died it before the red line. Now Jake DeBrusk will turn in a hurry. We'll leave it for Connor Garland. But he'll lose a battle with Hampus Lindholm. Peak for Geekie. Now Husadinov in the middle. He'll come with speed into the attacking zone. Turn at the blue line. Backhanded down low for Geekie. Tried to find Zaka, but it'll go all the way through to Peak. Peak lets a wrist shot go, and Kevin Lankinen will glove it with 6:39 left in the second period. Nice play here from Max Sasson, and he left it for Liam Ogren, but Swayman able to stand tall. Face off to the right of Lankinen, won by the Bruins. Hampus Lindholm lets a shot go. That one blockered away by Lankinen to the far boards. Now Marco Rossi in the middle, almost picked off by Connor Geekie. Now here come the Canucks back the other way. Vander Kane into the middle, but broken up by Hampus Lindholm. Lindholm around the boards to Husadinov. Now back for Hampus. Across to Peak. Peak fires it up the boards. Zaka into the middle. Now Husadinov trying to control a bouncing puck, but unable to do so. Vander Kane after it. Three bodies go down. Kane in the middle, but it hops over the stick of David Kampf. Kampf goes deep. Swayman leaves it for Hampus. And Morgan Geekie back for Hampus Lindholm. Had to hop off his stick, but Peak is going to float this out of the zone. Now the Canucks will try to come in. Zaka try to backhand that didn't work, but now he'll pick up the loose puck. Zadorov will dump it high in the air. They will battle in front of the benches. It will be back into the zone. Swayman backhands it to Andrew Peak. 5:19, 18, and 17 left in the second period. Zadorov finds Pastrnak into the attacking zone. Pastrnak goes wide with it. Now stops. Sends one in the middle. That one took a deflection and hits the post. Lankinen came off it, trying to come across for the pass, and it took a deflection, almost went right by him. Charlie McAvoy back for it. Under 5 minutes left in the second period. Zeev Bynum goes across for Tyler Meyer. Canucks will get it into the zone. Now a shot handled by Swayman, letting that shot go was Kiefer Sherwood. It will come all the way around here. Now Charlie McAvoy over to get it. Send it up to Pastrnak. Pastrnak into the middle for Tanner Jeannot. Jeannot's going to go wide with it. Protect it. He's 1 against 5. His teammates in the middle of a line change. Jeannot trying to keep it. Goes back to the point, but that one goes out of the zone. Sent right back in by the Bruins. Fraser Minton first to get it. Now Jeannot trying to win a puck battle, but the Canucks will try to clear it, and they will all the way out to center ice. Mason Lohrei finds Mark Kaslik. Kaslik had a poke off his stick by Sherwood. Now here comes Evander Kane. Evander Kane, nice move, but Kaslik, good back check there to strip him of the puck. Goes cross ice, no icing here. This one's going to be on Lincoln, and he'll leave it for Myers. 3:40 left. Bruins up 3-2. Canucks get it in the zone. Kane will leave it there for Rossi. Rossi over to Besser. Besser will get it back. A one-timer, he fanned on it. The Bruins will pick it up. Sean Corrali chips it out, but now the Canucks will enter right back in with speed. Liam Ogren driven to the boards. Mason Lohrei picks it up. Lohrei onside Mikey Easymont. Sends it down low looking for Sean Corrali. Up the boards, Easymont tries to keep it in, but now the Canucks will pick it up. Carlson goes rink wide. Elias Pettersson will get it back. We'll go back to to Rossi. Now one timer took a deflection and somehow that goes in. Are you kidding me? How the heck does that one go in? Philip Hronek's going to lay claim to it. It was a one timer from the point, and it goes off the pants of Jeffrey Viel and in the back of the net. And actually, this is going to be an interesting one. Hang on a second. This one might come back. It took a deflection off VL and then goes off the arm of Marcus Pettersson. Yeah, it goes off the wrist and he makes a motion. That's off his arm. This is interesting. I don't know what this is going to be. Yeah, this one's, I think this one could be called back. Huh. This is the thing. I don't know what any of the rules are anymore. So like anytime it goes to review, I'm like, it's a crapshoot. What do we got? It is no goal. So the Bruins keep their 3-2 lead. And it was a motion made to deflect it with the hand. Thank God, because that was not the best goal to give up. We are back underway. Bruins getting hemmed in their own zone right now, though. They have not finished either of these periods well, as it's at the point for Hronek. Hronek trying to maneuver, goes rink wide to Marcus Pettersson. That one goes wide. Here's David Kampf. Goes down low to Garland. Garland back for Hronek. Hronek, wrist shot, took another deflection, goes to the far boards. Bruins run around their own zone here. 2 minutes left in the second period. Hronek Trying to make a move on Hustadinov, sends it to the front, but nobody there in a white sweater. Now Zadorov will just chip this out of the zone, and it will be in on net. No icing here. Nice play by Nikita. Bruins trying to get a line change. They were able to get everybody. So good play there from Nikita Zadorov. Puck still in the Canucks zone, though. That one gets through to Swayman. And this one cleared by Pasternak, but it will go for an icing with 1:26 left in the second period. So the Bruins bailed out thanks to a review. Hampus Lindholm wins the draw over to Casey Middlestat. He'll send it in. Hops over the stick of Elias Lindholm, kept in by Peak. Middlestat tried to go across to Pasternak. Pasternak gets caved in. Middlestat tried to find Elias Lindholm, but that one goes wide. Elias into the middle for Pasternak. Now up the boards it will come, but Elias Lindholm picks it off. Finds Pasternak. Pasternak trying to brings it to the middle and try to jam it. I don't know if it got to Lincoln in or not. Now Peak. Send it back down low to Middlestat. Middlestat trying to get some help from Pasternak, and he will. Pasternak in the middle trying to find Elias Lindholm. Now Connor Garland will break it out. Chip it into the Bruin zone. Hampus Lindholm back for it. Lindholm up the boards for Tanner Jeannot. Tried to go in the middle, but that pass picked off. Hit Jeannot's glove. Lindholm goes off the glass. And a delayed offside here. Bruins will send it back in. Swayman will leave it for Peak. Peak goes across to Hampus Lindholm. Hampus Lindholm goes off the wall and try to get in, but now 5 seconds left. Here come the Canucks with a shot. That one goes off the end boards, and that will do it. So the Bruins will take a 3-2 lead into the third, thanks to goals from Pavel Zacha and Tanner Jeannot, and a goal from the Canucks that was wiped off the board. And so at the end of two, Bruins 3, Canucks 2, you are watching them on the Game Time Voice YouTube channel. So a crazy end to that period for the Bruins. So we got a 1-goal game headed to the third. Take a look at the out of town scoreboard for all parties involved. Uh, Bruins, you're watching the Bruins. Taking a look up in Toronto, the Celtics have an 83-80 lead at the end of three quarters. That one headed to the fourth. Uh, Taking a look around the NHL, Canadians up 3-0 on the Penguins after two. Hurricanes and Lightning tied at three after the Lightning scored three in the second to tie it after the Hurricanes took a 3-0 lead after the first period. After two in Nashville, Predators and Leafs tied at two. Later on tonight, like I said, 10 o'clock, Flames, Golden Knights, Ducks, Blue Jackets, Sharks, Kraken. Meanwhile, in other games that have just gone final, Blues win 6-2 over the Florida Panthers, and the Sabres come out with a shootout victory over the Islanders. So that's everything going on in the NHL outside of the Bruins. We still got 20 minutes left. So the Bruins just have not finished either period great. Uh, they have a lead, but that's only because of a goal review that uh, went their way. Um, Meanwhile, uh, taking a look at the take a look at the college hockey ranks. Um, the latest, well, I say latest. This is as of December 15th. I'm assuming there are going to be updated rankings coming out at the beginning of this coming week. But your top 20 looks like this for the men's: Michigan, Wisconsin, Michigan State, North Dakota, Minnesota Duluth, Denver, Western Michigan, Dartmouth, Penn State, Quinnipiac, Yukon, BC, Northeastern, Maine, Minnesota State, Providence, Cornell, Harvard, BU, Union. So that's the national rankings uh, for college hockey. Taking a look more local, in terms of the Hockey East standings, Yukon in first place, BC at second, BU third, Maine and Northeastern tied for fourth, UNH at sixth, Providence in seventh, Merrimack and UMass Lowell tied for eighth. Ugh. Vermont just behind them in 10th, and UMass in dead last with just 6 points. So neck and neck so far, both in NHL and college hockey. Meanwhile, we are watching the fourth quarter between the Celtics and the Raptors. Is 87-82 between these two teams. And with 10:25 left. So fun game here. Celtics kind of exceeding expectations, as I believe. Let me see what their record is. Without Jason Tatum, they're 16-11. So 5 games over 500. So not great, but not terrible. They are playing well. Meanwhile, in college football playoff games, Oregon's up 33-3 on James Madison. Man, aren't you glad you put James Madison in the college football playoff? That's going really well for you, committee. That's going really, really well for you. Unbelievable how messed up that whole situation is. Just uh, it's a fun story. It can, but it's just like There are certain teams who should play for a national championship, and there are certain teams that shouldn't. Look, if it was like basketball and hockey, and the reason you're in the tournament is because you won your conference, that's one thing. But if James Madison's in just because a committee voted them in, that just doesn't look good. They're like, well, who would have put in ahead of him? I would put in Notre Dame because I know for a fact, and I'm not a Notre Dame fan. I just Notre Dame would have put up a much better fight than James Madison against Oregon. Now this is gonna drive me insane, but it's like it's just like, okay, so you're telling me, or hang on, college football playoff standings. Yeah, I gotta take a look at this. So I believe it was the top 10 teams that made it. And you take a look at it, you're hang on, now that I'm looking at it, hang on a second. Why is James Madison in? Let me take a look at this. Final college football playoff rankings. So James Madison, why is James Madison playing? Okay, so let's see. So there is conference champion automatic bids because Tulane won the American and James Madison won the Sun Belt. So it's the top 10 teams win because of record, and then the next two teams are automatic bids. This whole thing is just absolutely crazy, and I don't get it for the life of me. I don't want to do that. So now I'm gonna look this up because I thought it was the 12 teams, but I thought it was just automatically. Yes, in the expanded 12-team college football playoff, the five highest ranked conference champions automatically get bids, regardless of the ranking. Top four overall teams getting first round buys, while the other seven spots go to the best remaining teams. So, of the Power Five conferences, they get automatic bids. Okay, whatever. It's so confusing. It's crazy. All I'm saying is James Madison and Tulane should not be anywhere near the college football playoff. No freaking way should they be anywhere near that. The way Oregon's being. What's Tulane's? Tulane have a football score? Tulane. football schedule. Yeah, they got yeah, Tulane got crushed 41-10 by Ole Miss, and they have 3 losses. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Yeah, we want to give different teams a chance. Well, congratulations. Look how that turned out. That is absolutely terrible. Absolutely terrible. It's like, what do you expect? What were you expecting to happen? Like honestly, what were you expecting to happen? Well, whatever. So if you're just joining us, I want to welcome you guys into the stream. Bruins up 3-2 on the Canucks. Bruins have goals from Pavel Zaka, Morgan Geekie, and Tanner Jeannot. Canucks got goals from Max Sasson, and I believe it was Philip Hronik. I will double check that just to be sure. But that is where we are at right now. Also, if you have not done already, don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss out on when new videos are posted here on the Game Time Voice YouTube channel. You also don't miss out on when new videos go live, like this live stream. No, I have not seen Will Campbell there chugging beers tonight. He was there last night when the Celtics took on the Miami Heat and won. But glad to see Will's enjoying himself, and hopefully he is back for the Patriots playoff run. Be very, very interested to see how the Patriots finish out the regular season, as they need some help. They need to win and get some help from the teams playing the Broncos. So Patriots are 11-3, Broncos 12-2. Broncos remaining schedule are the Jags, Chiefs, and Chargers. So 2 of those 3 games are going to be tough. Actually, all 3 of those games are going to be tough. Casey might play spoiler. For the Patriots, meanwhile, their remaining games are against Baltimore. That's going to be a tough one tomorrow. But then away at the Jets and home at the Dolphins. So 2 of those 3 games they should win. Tomorrow night will be an interesting one. But we will find out tomorrow night in Baltimore. All right, almost set to get the third period started. Bruins with a 3-2 lead. Elias Lindholm been everywhere tonight. 11:45 time on ice and has played very well. Had an assist on the Morgan Geekie, or no, yes, he had an assist on the Morgan Geekie goal as he got it back to McAvoy, who sent it over for Geekie with a one-timer. So, 20 minutes left. Bruins up 3-2. Trying to go to 2-1 on this 5-game homestand. And the faceoff control by the Canucks. And they will send it into the Bruins zone. Charlie McAvoy back for it. McAvoy goes around the boards to Tanner Jeannot. Jeannot will flip it out. And Zeev Byam came over in the Quinn Hughes trade. Deeks and will send it into the zone. Nikita Zadorov go up the boards. Tanner Jeannot goes forward to Fraser Minton. Minton will dump it in the zone. Mark Kaslick going against Marcus Pettersson. Pettersson will fire it out. It will come out to neutral ice. Here comes Jake DeBrusk. DeBrusk lets a shot go. Swayman gloves it with ease, and he will hold. Jake has had some opportunities tonight, but has been stoned each time. It's the last thing you want for him to score. Face off to the right of Jeremy Swayman. Lindholm and Kampf battle, and Lindholm won it, but then it was poked, and the Canucks will send it back behind the net. It'll come out to Casey Milstad. Pastrnak leaves it for Elias Lindholm. Lindholm cuts into the zone. Lets a wrist shot go off the net. Middlestat finds Lindholm. Try to get into the middle to Pastrnak. Now Lindholm back for Middlestat. Nice play to Pastrnak. That one blocked in front. We're going to get a penalty gum up here against the Canucks. It will be David Kampf who will go for a hook. So the Bruins will get another power play. Call for a hook against Elias Lindholm. So the Bruins will send out Zacha, Elias Lindholm, Geekie, Pastrnak, and McAvoy. 1 for 2 tonight. They've gotten 5 shots on 2 power plays, and they win the faceoff. Pastrnak, McAvoy, over to Geekie. Down low for Lindholm. Goes across. Pastrnak with a one-timer, and Lincoln saves it with his skate and able to cover. It was a one-timer from Pastrnak, and it got stuck right underneath the skate blade of Lincoln. Bruins again win the faceoff. McAvoy, Pastrnak goes across. Elias Lindholm lets the shot go. That one blocked in front. Nice by Kiefer Sherwood. Geekie trying to keep it in. It'll come back to McAvoy. Pastrnak goes across. He was looking for Elias Lindholm. Hopped off his stick. Down in the middle, it will come. Bruins trying to keep it in, and it'll come out of the zone. Sherwood will get away further. McAvoy trying to catch the Canucks in a change. Pastrnak slowly allows the team to get in. Finds Elias Lindholm. Lindholm reverses it to Pastrnak. Pastrnak under pressure here. McAvoy gets it over to Geekie. Geekie trying to sell a puck. That one took a deflection. And now the Canucks will skate it out, and it'll be O'Connor who will dump it in and go after it. Bruins still have their first line power play out there. So we got some tired legs. Now they'll get off, and Philip Hronik will just send it down the length of the ice. Hampus Lindholm will rush with 36 seconds left on the power play. Will drop it for Hustadinov. Hustadinov goes over to Esimont. Esimont stops at the circle, back for Hampus Lindholm, finds Michael. Down low for Casey Middlestat, but he's poked off the puck, and the Canucks might have a 2-on-1. Bruins get back, shot, handled by Swayman, and he'll cover with 16:55 left on the period and 11 seconds left on the power play. So out of the three, not the best power play for the Bruins on the night. They still got 11 seconds on it, but the faceoff is in their zone. Faceoff won by Kaslik. Zadorov will get it back. 7 seconds left on the power play. Up the middle. McAvoy into the zone. Back to 5-on-5. Cross. Shot by Kaslik. Saved by Lankinen. Back to 5-on-5 we go. Myers finds a player in front. It was Kampf. But now there comes Zadorov. Zadorov goes across to Kaslik. Back for McAvoy. Backhand goes wide. Kaslik able to retrieve it. But now it's picked off by Evander Kane. And the Canucks tried to spring. I think that was Sasson. But now, here come the Canucks again, and Carlson shoots and scores. Swayman couldn't get a glove on it. And the Canucks, they can't take this one off. As this fourth line for the Canucks has killed the Bruins tonight. Sasson got a goal. Carlson got a goal. We're tied at 3. Actually, I don't know if. Oh, this. Oh, yeah. So Carlson's got 2 and Sasson's got the other one. So all 3 goals from the fourth line. We are back underway. Tied at 3. Acimont under pressure here. Bruins have got to find an answer. Back behind the Bruins net. Jake DeBrusk back to the point. Shot goes wide. Elias Pettersson will send it in deep. Now Soderstrom will pick it up for the Bruins. We'll find Esimont. Esimont will able to shrug off a check. Will backhand one in on Lankinen. He'll glove it with 15:25 left in the third. Looking back on it, I don't know if Swayman got a glove on it or not, if he just got beat up top. But out of the 2 he's given up, that's the one you would like a stop. I don't know if he could have given it to you, but you would have liked one in that moment. Face off won by the Canucks. Marcus Pettersson, who had a goal called off on him for hitting his arm. Now a wrist shot goes wide. Pettersson back for it. Casey Mills had tried to get it out. It's picked up though by Philip Hronik. He'll send it back in deep. Vander Kane working against Hampus Lindholm. Hampus just buries him. Now here come the Bruins back the other way here. Casey Mills will dump it in. Pastrnak going against Marcus Pettersson. Now Elias Lindholm will work against Steve Bruin. Now Middlestad will go back down low. Pasternak will wheel around, try to go off, but I think he hit the side of the net. Roenick, nice move on to get around Elias Lindholm. Roenick will skate it to the red line, dump it in. Swayman didn't know where the puck was. It was in his skates. The Bruins able to help him out. Morgan Geekie lets a wrist shot go. Lankinen spilled it for a second, but it goes off the side of the net. Geekie back for Zadorov. Shot from the point goes wide. McAvoy. Zaka try to find Geekie. That one blocked in front. Now Hustadinov at the point. Finds Zaka. Goes across for Zadorov. Zadorov. Geekie lets it run. Zaka. Board played there. For a side they will battle for it. Zaka comes out of the pack with it. Sends it in front. Was looking for Geekie. Now here come the Canucks back the other way here. This is Sasson. Taken down, nothing doing. Now a bomb from the point goes just wide. Zadorov. Leaves it for McAvoy. McAvoy working against Garland. A shot in the middle, and Swayman closes the pads. With 13:20 to go, as he makes a stop on Kiefer Sherwood, we are tied at 3 with 13:20 left in the third period. What has turned out to be a barn burner at TD Garden. And the Bruins would like to finish this thing off in regulation as best they can because they're playing again tomorrow at 7 o'clock against the Ottawa Senators. So you don't want to go into overtime or at worst a shootout tonight and then have to play again the next day. But it's been a fun one at TD Garden. Now, if the Bruins could come out with the win, it would be even better. They got to find a goal within at least the next 13 minutes and 20 seconds. Strong play of the game for the Bruins. That beauty of a third goal where Mitten found Kaslik. Kaslik backhand feed to Jeannot, and Jeannot pots it. That was pretty. Absolutely pretty. But the Bruins need to find at least one more of those. So we're back from commercial. Scoring chances are 18-9 in favor of the Bruins. They'll win the faceoff. Hampus Lindholm will rim it around for Tanner Jeannot. Jeannot will go across to Andrew Peeke. He goes down, nothing doing. Here come the Canucks back the other way. Garland stop up, backhanded down low. Jeannot back for it. Try to get up the boards. Took a deflection. Will go behind the net. Peeke in a battle with Garland. Jeannot trying to find support, but it will come out from Camp. Now at the point, it's Zeev Boyum. Try to get a shot through. It was blocked. It will be sent down the length of the ice and will go for an icing with 12:41 left. What do you think of a possible return for Matthew Judon to the Patriots? I don't know. Uh, in terms of him as a player, He was starting to lose some steam. Um, yeah, he was starting to lose some steam before we traded him to Atlanta. Um, and taking a look at how he was playing in Miami when we played him, I don't know. I'll I'll be interested to see, but kind of the way he talked about his exit from Boston, I or New England, I should say. Um, it's all depends on if the Bruins can get healthy. I don't. I think we've got enough players that have worked so far all year, but hey, if you can get it for the right price and not give up too much for him, then by all means do it. And if he wants to do it, is more of the question. Now a shot from the point, that one goes in, and the Canucks have a 3-2 lead, a 4-3 lead. Shot from the point comes from Liam Ogren, and again, all four goals have come from the fourth line. Shot from the point, and Ogren got a piece of it with his stick in front of the net. Now the Bruins really got to find their game. Tough, tough night. Now you're starting to wonder why Stern played Swayman. This is his fourth straight game. He just is 4 goals on 17 shots. This is last year for him for Jeremy Swayman. The Canucks, we're going to have an interference call here against the Bruins, and it's going to go on Charlie McAvoy. It's going to be on interference. So the Bruins go down 1 goal, and now we'll go to the penalty kill. So now you need a kill. Canucks power play 1 for 2 tonight. Meanwhile, the Celtics have a 112-96 victory against the Toronto Raptors. So one Boston team with a win tonight. Can the Bruins make it two? Gonna need a kill first. Face off won by the Bruins, and Hampus Lindholm will rim it around, but it's kept in at the point by Philip Hronek. Go rink wide to Tom Willander. Back for Hronek. Into the middle for Kiefer Sherwood. Back for Hronek. Goes down low, and he'll get it back. Down low, Evander Kane tries to go cross crease, but kept out by the Bruins. Now Sherwood goes cross ice again. Swayman got a stick on it. Cleared only as far as Hronek. We'll get it back. Go rink wide to Kane. Kane lets a wrist shot go, and that one got deflected in front and will go out of play with 11 minutes, 9 seconds left and 121 left on the power play. So this game is turned on its head. Face off, controlled by the Bruins, chipped along but not out. Bruins unable to get the puck out. And the Canucks will work it around. Ustedinov over to try to get it, but sent over in the middle. Now Connor Garland up top. Wrist shot hit the pile in front, and Zaka finally will get a clear. 42 seconds left on the power play. Zeev Bynum will start it up. Leave it back for Connor Garland. Goes across to Rossi, but nice play by Fraser Minton in the blue line will send him back out. Jake DeBrusk goes across to Brock Besser. Now another penalty will come against the Bruins. It's going to be Hampus Lindholm for a trip. So your top two defensemen for the Bruins in the box. Lindholm will go for a trip on Rossi. So 5-on-3 for 19 seconds. Peak, Zadorov, and Elias Lindholm, your killers for the Bruins. Lindholm's got to win this draw, and he does. Can Peak get it out? And he does. Back behind the net for Lankinen. Here come the Canucks. Zeev Byam. Cross for Garland. Garland. Now Rossi. And Lindholm will chip it out. McAvoy just hopped off his stick. He almost had a breakaway. McAvoy cuts in the middle. Lets a shot go. Lankinen has a save. So 126 of 5-on-4. Canucks trying to get it into the zone. Here comes now, but it's out of the zone again. Now the Canucks unable to really get this through. And Zadorov will collect it. Try to escape back and waste some time. Peak will roll out and he'll send it deep. And in the middle it comes. Here comes Philip Hronik. Bruins are back. Evander Kane across. Now across and fanning on a shot was Hronik. He had Swayman moving. 45 seconds left on the power play. Evander Kane up top. Sherwood. Willander. Back for Hronik. Let's one timer go saved by Swayman. And Zadorov will backhand it out. 30 seconds left on the power play. Hronik. Across. Here come the Canucks. Back to the point for Hronik. He'll go down low to Carlson. Hronik. Willander. Across for Kane. Tried to set it up, and Hustadinov will send it down the length of the ice. That should kill the rest of the power play. Hampus Lindholm out of the box. Canucks will dump it in. Swayman will guide it to the end boards. Casey Middlestat back for it. 1-on-2, he's battling, needs support. But it'll go behind the net for Liam Odergren to pick it up for the Canucks. Odergren back to the point, reverses down low, comes out. Andrew Peak has it. Now here comes Casey Middlestat. Middlestat will take it to the middle. We'll find Pastrnak on the wing. Pastrnak had it stuck in his skates. Middlestat able to pick it up. Needs some help. Elias Lindholm tried to backhand a feed to Pastrnak. Pastrnak lowers the shoulder. Elias Lindholm back for the point for Lohrei. Lohrei into the middle. Lets a shot go. Lankinen. I don't know if he got a piece of it or not. But now here comes O'Connor for the Canucks. He'll dump it in. Canucks will peel off and change. Swayman. Miscommunication for Soderstrom. But now Soderstrom will get it back behind his net. We'll find Hampus Lindholm. Lindholm will chip it out, and it will find the skates of Elias Pettersson. He'll go wink ride to Philip Hronik. 6:50 left in the third period. Bruins down 4-3. Roenick just waiting at the center circle. Now we'll find Jake DeBrusque. DeBrusque will turn and go in a hurry, but he is picked off, and Hampus Lindholm will go cross ice for Casey Middlestat. Actually, no, excuse me, it's Michael Asimont. Asimont goes down, but he blew a tire, nothing doing. This puck is sent out of the zone. Soderstrom back for it. Finds Hampus Lindholm. Lindholm trying to get the puck to cooperate. Puck chipped in. Willander under pressure from Corrali. Corrali trying to get the puck, but it'll come out of the zone. No icing here. Charlie McAvoy back for it. McAvoy protects the puck nicely. Goes off the boards. Bruins will send it in. Terry Janot trying to get it. Janot back from McAvoy. He lets a shot go when Lankinen able to hold his post with 6 minutes even left. Bruins down 4-3, needing a goal. Needing a goal quickly. It's been a back and forth game all night long. And now the Bruins need to keep that up. It's been just a tough, tough night for the Bruins to get any sort of separation. It's just tough. But the Bruins have 6 minutes left to turn around. Come up on 9:33. Need a quick goal, Cotton. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. That's a bold strategy. Let's see if it pays off for them. So 6 minutes left. Bruins down 4-3 with plenty of scoring chances to boot. They've had the majority of the high scoring chances, just need one more. Face off won though by the Canucks. Chipped out of the zone and a battle in front of the penalty bench. Bruins trying to dig it out. Come back to the Bruins zone. Mason Lohrei goes to Soderstrom. Soderstrom took a deflection. No icing here. Fraser Minton trying to get in on it. Terrence Janot battling. Marcus Pettersson will backhand it up to the point. And now racing here comes Liam Orgren. Orgren will stop. Jake DeBrusque will help it along. Max Season has it poked off his stick. Here comes Mason Lohrei. Over to Kaslik. Kaslik shot in on Lincoln, and he will hold with 5:12 left. Bruins outshooting the Canucks 34-20, but find themselves down 4-3. Hey, look, the Bruins tied for second in the Atlantic, but because of tiebreakers, are just below the final playoff spot. So they need some points here. Pastrnak trying to keep it in, goes across to Elias Lindholm. Lindholm fanned on the shot. As we're into the final 5 minutes, Roenick back to get it. Sends it around the boards. Pastrnak trying to battle for it. Keeps it in. Zadorov over to McAvoy. McAvoy tried to get a shot on, but it just goes across the crease. Now shot in deep. Pasternak back for it. He'll shake off a check, and he'll get taken down. Nothing doing. And the puck back into the Canucks zone. Myers back with it. Will wheel away. Try to find Evander Kane. And Andrew Peak back to get it. Peak waiting for his team to complete a change. He'll find Lindholm. Geekie over to Zaka. Zaka try to go across to Peak. Now Peak fires it on net, and that one just squeaks past the post. Hampus Lindholm trying to keep it in. Now Hustadinov leaves it for Geekie. Hustadinov back for Hampus Lindholm. Shot goes just wide. Peak. That's a wrist shot goal. That one goes in. This one might go to Peak. But either way, it doesn't matter. Bruins 4, Canucks 4, 3:44 left. Peak with a fluttering puck off the post, off the back of Lankinen, and that one goes in. It was off the right post, off his back, and snuck through. In a brand new hockey game here at TD Garden. Peak with his second goal in the last 4 games. The defenseman coming alive. Has carried over his awesome play at the World Championships for the U.S., though, this summer, where he won a gold medal along with Jeremy Swayman. So 4-4, 3:44 left. Face off won by the Bruins. Charlie McAvoy off the glass and into the zone. But I believe they were offsides. So 3:37 left. We are tied at 4. So, like I said, Celtics with the 112-96 victory. Meanwhile, on Saturday Night Football, the Packers with a 6-0 lead over the Bears. So shout out to my good friend Andrew, as he's probably happy about that. Meanwhile, college football, Oregon up 34-6 on JMU. Again, I don't know how those teams are, how that team and Tulane are in the playoffs, but they are, and now we're seeing why they shouldn't have been. So 3:37 left. Linus Carlson, Max Sasson, and Liam Ogren, all on the fourth line, have the Canucks goals. Geekie, Zaka, Janot, and Peak, the goals for the Bruins. As we get another look at the goal, it was just a almost like a knuckle puck, hit the post, hit the back of Lincoln, and goes in. So some puck luck for the Bruins. TD Garden is up and standing here on what feels like a very important game for both of these teams. Nikita Zadorov back in his own zone to get it. Zadorov skates it up, will dump it in. Pasternak and Milstad trying to go after it. Elias Lindholm coming in to provide some support. Puck rimmed around. Hronik over to get it. Hit Pasternak, and Casey Middlestat will pick it up. Middlestat tried to go across. Pasternak almost got there. McAvoy sends it down low. Hronik again back to get it. Lindholm able to get a stick on it. Marcus Pettersson wheels it back around for Hronik. Hronik third time clears it. No icing here. Took a deflection. And Charlie McAvoy will pick it up. McAvoy tipped in. No icing here. Lankinen out to get it. Avoids Kaslik on the clear out. Now here come the Canucks back the other way. Dumped in. Swayman will leave it for Peak. Peak will send it around. Kaslik gets tripped up. Nothing doing. As the officials have decided to put the whistles in their mouths. Or kept the whistle in their pockets, I should say. 2 minutes left. And the Canucks are offsides with 1:59 left. Get another look. Kaslik, yeah, just gets run over with the puck not even anywhere near him. All righty then. Face off. It's in the neutral zone. Rossi against Zaka, and Zaka will win it. Here comes Charlie McAvoy. He'll motor it in. Ustedinov tried to get in, took a deflection, and that put everything off kilter, and it'll be offsides. So Carlson, 2 goals and assists. Sasson and Ogren, a goal each. Geekie, a power play goal and an assist. And then Zaka, Janot, and Peak, goal each. Shots 36-20 in favor of the Bruins, but it is tied 4-4 on the scoreboard. Charlie McAvoy will rim it around. Myers will chip it out. Zadorov trying to get it back in. Now here come the Canucks. Rossi will send it around. Zadorov in a battle with Kane. Kane in the middle, but Morgan Geekie will pick it up. He'll find McAvoy. McAvoy will rim it around. Over there is Hustadinov. He'll go back around to Geekie. Geekie will rim it back around for Hustadinov, but it'll go all the way back as Zadorov hadn't completed a change yet. He'll leave it for a Peak and then we'll go off. So we are coming up on a minute left. Peak will break it out. Chipped into the zone. Canucks will try to clear, but it'll hit the skate of Elias Lindholm. Pastrnak tried to feed it back out in the middle, but it'll come back into the Bruins zone. Hampus Lindholm back for it. Up the boards. Pastrnak will go cross ice. Middlestat will try to settle it. He'll rim it around. Elias Lindholm. Go 1 against 2 here. Needs some help. Off the boards. Hampus Lindholm. Back down for Elias Lindholm. Try to find Middlestad. Up the boards and Hampus back. Under pressure from former teammate Jake DeBrusk. Peak. Back for Hampus. Hampus will dump it in. Kaslik will battle for it. Now Marcus Pettersson will break it up. 6 seconds left. We'll chip it out of the zone. Kaslik will back into the middle, and that will do it. So it's where we should be. Looking at the game, end of regulation, we are tied at 4, and we will head for overtime. Come up on 9:45 left on a Saturday night. It's exactly what these teams deserve, a point each. Now you got to battle to see who gets the other one. It's been back and forth all night long, and we'll need at least 5 more minutes to decide a winner in a 2011 Cup final rematch. Bruins had a lead of 1-0 and 3-2, and now we'll try to get a 5-4 win. Save of the game for the Bruins, Jeremy Swayman on a breakaway from Jake DeBrusk, able to close the 5 hole. But not one of best Sway's best games, but he can make up for it here with a strong overtime performance. So, if you are new to watching the Bruins this year, it's going to be an interesting strategy. Mark Kaslick will take the draw, and if they win it, he will go right off immediately for a line change. He's out there with Pastrnak and McAvoy. Canucks 2 for 3 in overtime this year. Bruins 4-0. Kaslick gets the Bruins possession, and he will head off. McAvoy back for it. We'll find Pavel Zacha. We'll work up with Pastrnak. Pastrnak lets a shot go. Lincoln will hold with 4:45 left. 36 shots for the Bruins, 20 for the Canucks. McAvoy, Geekie, and Kastelic. And Geekie able to get this one on net, but a save by Lincoln. And now Geekie will put some pressure in the middle. McAvoy, Deeks, try to go backhand, stopped by Lincoln. Rebound by Geekie, stopped by Lincoln. Golden opportunity there, as it was a turnover from Brock Besser. Geekie put it in the middle, and McAvoy tried to go across to Zacha, but then was all by himself, but deked himself out of a shooting angle. And then Geekie had a shot to go 5 hole, but unable to do so. Now face-off won by the Canucks. Here comes Kiefer Sherwood. We'll go back to Philip Hronik, who's out there with Sherwood and looks like Evander Kane. Kane will bust in. Shot saved by Swayman, and he will hold with 4:11 left. 39-21 shots in favor of the Bruins. Now it's the Lindholms, Elias, and Hampus, along with Morgan Geekie, and the faceoff will come to Geekie. He'll try to beat Jake DeBrusk. Now Geekie will stop and will come out. Actually, no, excuse me. That he's working against Zeev Broyam, who's out there with Marco Rossi and Connor Garland. Geekie in the middle. Leaves for Hampus Lindholm. Back down low for Geekie. Geekie protects the puck, try to wrap it forward. Now Elias Lindholm picks it up. Lindholm, Hampus had it picked off. Now here come the Canucks back the other way. Braham in the middle gets it back. Shot saved by Swayman. Beautifully came across. Here comes Elias Lindholm. Hampus trying to join the rush. Elias across. Hampus one timer saved by Lankinen, and he'll leave it there. Bruins trying to change quickly. Minton, Zadorov, and Middlestat. Middlestat picks the pocket. Here he comes with Fraser Minton. Goes across for Zadorov. Now Fraser. Zadorov. Nice move at the blue line. We'll bring it back. Trying to leave it for Fraser Minton, and Minton will back out for possession. Casey Middlestat will bring it in. Or I thought he was, but now he'll just back out. Now he'll turn and go with speed. Leave it for Fraser Minton. Nice move at the blue line. Tries to find Zadorov, but Zadorov unable to get there. Send it back down low. Minton makes a move at the blue line, but pass picked off. Nice play, though, by Pastrnak coming off the bench. Pastrnak trying to shake off a defender. Try to backhand it in the middle. Now the Canucks will just backhand this one out. 2 minutes left. McAvoy back for it. Cross for Pastrnak. Pastrnak. Toe drag. Cross for Zacha. Zacha handcuffed him. Zacha goes down low. Finds Pastrnak. Pastrnak trying to find an opening. Cuts in the middle. Goes across, but unable to get much on the pass. Zacha tried to go between the legs to McAvoy, but the Canucks will pick it off, and here comes Evander Kane. Kane trying to go across. Now we'll cut into the middle. Try to backhand one out in front. Elias Lindholm picks the stick. McAvoy trying to win a puck battle. He's under pressure from Kane. Go across to Morgan Geekie. 105 left. McAvoy at the blue line. Leaves it for Elias Lindholm. Lindholm backhands a feed to Morgan Geekie. Lindholm cuts to the side. Finds McAvoy. Was on his backhand. Unable to get shot. Goes across ice looking for Morgan Geekie. Pass up the boards. Kept in by Elias Lindholm. Morgan Geekie. Nice move there. Try to go across looking for McAvoy. Settles it. 35 seconds left. McAvoy. Cross for Lindholm. Trying to find Morgan Geekie, who's at the end of a shift. He's going to go all the way back to Swayman. We got some gas Bruins. Pastrnak. Cross for Zacha. Tried to chip it, looking for Pastrnak, unable to connect. Pastrnak gets some help from Zacha. Zacha being board played. Hampus Lindholm will go in deep with it. Goes back to the point. Zacha over to Pastrnak. One timer from Lindholm. And we got 0.1. No, they're just going to. So, end of overtime. And we're headed to a shootout, which means I can break out this. My shootout bug that I literally just made, just in case. So we're going to put this at the top of the screen. So, best of three. Each team will try to go three times, and we'll see who goes first. And it's going to be the Canucks, and it's going to be Jake DeBrusk. Comes in with speed on Jeremy Swayman and stopped by Swayman. He's had his number all night. Casey Middlestat will go first for the Bruins. 30% on his career. Picks up the puck. Goes to the right. Cuts into the middle. Slows down and stopped by Lankinen. So after one round, no score in the shootout. And actually, that one hit the side of the net. It'll be Linus Carlson. He's got two tonight. Slowly moves in on Swayman, and that one goes wide. So no score here so far in the shootout. And it'll be Pasta. 10 for 41 in the shootout. He'll pick up the puck and he'll go to the left. Comes in with speed on Lincoln and slows down. Goes top shelf and he scores. I'm sorry, delayed reaction. I want to make sure it actually went in. I don't think it did go in. He hit the crossbar. Unbelievable. Yep, he missed it. So here comes Connor. Brock Besser shot saved by Swayman. So Murat Hustadinov, 1 for 1 in his career, can win the game here for the Bruins. Takes it wide, shoots, and misses. And we will head to sudden death. Here comes Connor Garland on a shot, and that one stopped by Swayman. So we're back, and it's going to be Andrew Peeke, the defenseman for the Bruins. Can he do it? Peeke moves in, shoots, and Lankinen able to keep it out. It'll be Kiefer Sherwood, 0 for 1 in his career. Comes in slowly and try to go backhand forehand. Swayman denies him. Mikey Esimont, can he win the game for the Bruins? Comes in, shoots. Lankinen stops him. Round 6. Here comes Evander Kane. Moves in on Swayman. Shot. Swayman denies him. So we go back and forth here. And it'll be Elias Lindholm. 2 for 14 in his career. Moves in on Lankinen. Looks, fakes, and tried to stuff it 5-hole. Lankinen denies him. And the battle continues. We go to round 7. Liam Ogren's got a goal tonight. Takes it wide. Comes in on Swayman. Backhand, he scores. Dekes Swayman out and backhanded in. So it is up to Morgan Geekie. 0 for 2 in his career, but has the goal scoring touch. Moves in on Lankinen. Shoots. Lankinen stops him, and the Canucks will pick up the extra point in the shootout. And Mike Kevin Lankinen with a brilliant performance tonight. The Canucks will win 5-4 in a shootout over the Boston Bruins. So, I want to thank you guys for joining us here on the Game Time Voice YouTube channel for an epic game between the Bruins and the Canucks. But the Canucks will prevail 5-4 in a shootout, and the Bruins will fall to 1-2 on the homestand. I will say goodnight. Again, your final score in a shootout: Canucks 5, Bruins 4. This has been a presentation of Bruins hockey here on the Game Time Voice YouTube channel. Have a good night, everybody, and a Merry Christmas